Saturday and you go to Charlotte.
Yeah.
What's the feeling like knowing what's on the line and that it is going through a rivalry game to
Yeah.
make it happen?
That's the fun part of college football, right? The fun part of being here at Virginia and the guys that work to put them in this opportunity. And we know there's a lot associated with it, but really, it's our next game. And our whole mission and kind of point of emphasis all season is playing our best game in our next game, right? And so if we do that, then the results that we desire, we believe we'll achieve if we play our best game.
What do you see with Tech's defense?
Yeah, so obviously with the coaching changes, the D coordinator's been there. You go through every game of the season. You try to get a picture of who this guy is, right? And there are some things they did early in the year they're not doing now. They had the bye week prior to Florida State, and you saw some changes that probably benefited them, right? They're playing pretty good on defense, for the most part with that. And so the last 2 weeks, you're starting to see some things that consistency of what they're doing compared to early in the year, right? And now personnel-wise, right, they don't lack personnel, okay, at all three levels, right? Whether it's the interior guys, the D tackles, their edge guys, right? The linebackers are long and athletic, right? In the secondary, have some youth in the secondary, particularly at the safety spot. Obviously, with you see Sheldon's playing a good bit more, Johnson, right, and those guys. But they're doing things, I think, to at least get those guys in the best position to be successful, right? We just got to do a really good job of, attacking the third level, when it presents itself, winning our blocks on the perimeter, right, as an extension of our run game, right, and really just playing UVA football, right? Efficient on first down, continue to be good on thirds. Hopefully we don't have 19 third downs in the game. And, and then like Duke, right, we were 100% scoring in the red zone, 3 of the 4 were touchdowns. It's no secret formula, right? If we do those things, we believe we put ourselves in a position to win the game.
I know there's obviously a game on Saturday before you reach the ACC title game if you do that. But when you reflect back how you guys came here in the program and how much this team has grown, how can you take it away from this time?
First of all, their belief, and that's kind of twofold. One, the guys who were here with us in 2022, you reflect back to last week, right, which was a big week in this program and for the University of Virginia, right, with the, honoring the 3 young men that was tragically killed, in 2022. And you look at that team, we have 24 guys, I believe we counted, that were on that team with us in 2022. And that was probably obviously one of the darkest days, that surrounded us, coming off a bad loss against Pitt and the way that game went on, and then what transpired that Sunday night, to where we're in a position, 3 years later, right, to honor those guys, but also take the program to another step, right? We're sitting here at 9-2 with the opportunity to win 10, right? Opportunity to go play for the ACC championship game, which may not have been. We thought we could do it, 3 years ago, but that belief may not have been across the whole community of Charlottesville, right? But with the guys that are here and the guys that we brought into the program that come from winning, right? They've been in that stage, and just the merging of those two along with our staff, I believe, has put us where we are right now.
You talk about the belief. There are 5 or 6 guys that were here before y'all got here that are still on this team. Guys like Noah Jones and Jack Whitmer on your offensive line. What was their kind of buy-in, and how has that kind of helped you get to this point?
I think our buy-in's been tremendous because they're still here with us, right? There's obviously been, in this world that we live in, there's some people that decided not to be here, and moved on, and those guys have been here with us the whole time. So I believe their belief speaks volumes by that. And you look at a guy like Jack Whitmer, for instance, was a tight end that I went to him and said, hey, I believe your best opportunity to help the program is to move the offensive line. And he embraced that and kind of grew and developed. And, is sitting here with us, being our starting right tackle this whole season, right, for a team to sit there at 9-2 and started several games for us last year and was a winner in that situation. So, obviously kudos to him and his resiliency, right, because, he could have easily have said that in the transfer portal, you guys brought in some other players, right, and we was trying to make that room healthier with more competition. And he was the test of the competition to put himself in a position. And I think that example itself really kind of shines a light on the character of this program.
What does it mean for those guys, those other guys, those seniors? What have they meant to the program when you do have to when you brought 30 guys, having that nucleus, that backbone?
Yeah. Because again, there's no, we didn't keep any secrets in discussing that back here in December a year ago, and that the whole point of it was to try to help those guys be able to win, help us program be able to win, right, and bringing in guys competitive depth, right, as you've seen here the last couple of years, even to this year, right, the offensive line position has always battled injuries, right, so that was a big point of emphasis, and then obviously the opportunity to go get a quarterback, right, and 2, right, with that competition. We look back at a year later from now, prior to, and even the running back position. And like X Brown, could have, and even Noah Vaughn, those 2 guys have been with us. They could have easily in this world been like, you know what, screw y'all, right? I mean, it's being honest. And neither one of them batted an eye, right? And Noah Vaughn was actually playing really, really good football for us. And the competition benefited him because he's a competitive kid, he's got talent. Now he was thrusted into an environment where in his room there's stacked depth and competition. And that's all you can ask for, right? We want to try to have the best product, put the best 11 to 20 guys on the field, offensively and defensively, to give us the best chance to win. And right, and whether you're guy number 20 at week 1, you're probably going to be guy number 10 by the time we get to week 12. So if you just embrace that, right, which is hard for some kids to do, right, embrace that, understand it's about the team, and then from the team, individual accolades and success happens. And that's what you're seeing on our team, I think. A lot of guys have been acknowledged for ACC Players of the Week and different things of that nature, but those come from winning teams, right? And guys are capitalizing on opportunities when presented with themselves on Saturdays.
How rare is it to have a guy like Jamari who never misses practice, and how durable he's been for you guys?
I mean, it's been like a godsend, honestly, right? Because, you look at it and we're down X and we're down Noah, right? And Jamari and both Harrison have been steady for us, right? Even Davis Lane's been kind of back and forth, right? And then Zay Davis, the freshman, who probably didn't think he would be a part of things when he got here in the summer, right? He's playing a role for us now, right? Even when in the game against Duke, right? And then carried the ball and, took care of the football, right? And he's going to have to play a role probably on Saturday. So I think Jamari being here from the day one he got here was the way he attacked the weight room, the way he attacked the meeting rooms, the way he just embraced himself into the team was good for those guys in the running back room. It was good for everybody on the team because you see this kid who, right, not kid, young man, right, he's just so appreciative of this opportunities, but he's also not allowing that to get to him to change who he is, right, because he's had some success for us this year, and he hadn't changed who he is, right, about his work ethic, about how he goes about approaching things, right, his humility, right, and so he's reaping the benefits of kind of who he is and taking advantage of the opportunity that we allowed him to have here at UVA.
So he's closing in on 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
What's the significance of that for you watching
Yeah.
him near that accomplishment?
For him, right, I think significance for him is that he gets to validate to himself his belief in himself and who he was, right? Also proves that there's players at all levels, right, given the right opportunity, can be successful. But also those linemen that's been battling their tails off and sometimes been told they ain't worth a crap, and then 1 week they're pretty good, right? And, it's more so for those guys because to see the look on their face and their joy of knowing, like, okay, man, we're going to rush for 200 yards, right, or whatever it is. Like, I think there's a lot of pride in that. And then just as a program, we haven't strayed from our belief of being able to run the football from the day that we got here. And the games that historically that we're able to run the ball effectively doesn't mean it has to be 200 yards, but it's got to be effective running the football. We've had success offensively, and we had success as a team to win the game.
Carson Beck completed 84% of his passes last week. Do you guys spot any things that might can help you?
Yeah, again, they are, I think statistically, I don't know the exact number, but Tech's rush defense, I think statistically is shown to be pretty good, right? So when in that case, there's a lot of opportunities where there's 7, 8 guys around the box, right? And I thought Miami was able to take advantage of some of those heavy boxes and get some throws down the field. And honestly, we're going to have to duplicate that as well. Now, with Chandler be 82%, I love that. Like, if he's I don't know how many times he may have to throw it, but if it's 82%, right, and a win. Now, I don't want 82% a loss. 82% to win, I take that as well, you know. But there's going to be opportunities, right, whether it's the outlets off the run game or, you know, trying to throw the ball down the field that, and considering, you know, whatever the weather conditions may be, the team that can actually throw it, you know, Saturday night, was going to be beneficial to that team because both of us are going to try to run the football. There's no denying that. And then which team can throw it the best Saturday night probably will impact who wins the game.
What were some of the things during the bye weeks that you wanted to work on with the offense the most?
You know, really keeping them in the rhythm, right? Because I felt we really hit our stride, kind of reestablish ourselves. You know, you look at the Cal week, right, and the Duke week, right, with that. So the bye week, keeping them fresh too. So it's kind of talking out both sides of my mouth, right? You want to keep them going, but you want to keep them fresh. But also it gave us a chance to, like guys like, you know, that's played every snap on the O-line, like Boley, Noah Josie. Sorry. Like give them guys a chance to kind of maybe get a little bit of reprieve with some practice reps, still get the indie work in, give some of the younger guys, you know, like a Grant Ellinger or John Adair and those guys some reps. Because, again, they're all really one play away, you know, and it could happen on Saturday night. So it gave us a chance to kind of take care of some of the older guys that's play a lot of ball, but also rep the young guys and try to stay as best we can in rhythm throughout the bye week.
Any reason Sage Ennis has been so open in the red zone?
Yeah. You know, I think part of that's because of the run game, right, with that, because some of those are some play action type things. And then Sage is another guy that Coach E and I kind of says he's one of ours, even though he was at Clemson, because he played for Coach E at Clemson. And when he came here, he brought really kind of an attitude, demeanor, right, to the tight end room of a physical kind of love ball kind of guy, great leadership, and it's kind of filtrated into the team. So to see him have his contributions, right, he probably didn't envision himself catching. He probably did, but didn't know if it would really come to fruition. Mm-hmm. He's been a really good red zone target for us.
How gratifying is it to you to know that your offense has more yards than anybody in the ACC and has run more plays than anybody in the ACC?
You know, for me, it's really about, I tell those guys, it's about them in the locker room, right? And it goes back to this summer as we kind of got the team together and was preparing for fall camp, and you saw guys like in the meeting rooms, right, studying the tape, shoot me a text, hey, Coach, what about this? What about that? And so to me, that made me feel like, man, we're doing the right things. Because the guys, we haven't stepped on the field yet, but the guys are bought into what we're trying to do. They want to try to master it, right, so that when they get on the field, they can execute at a high level. And they've done that, right? More times, a lot more times than not. They've done a really good job of executing what we asked them to do. And so really, it's a benefit of those guys, the players.